Usually our episode is called What Do You Drive? Today we're not going to talk about what do you drive, we're going to talk about what did you design. We're going to talk about a person who was part of a bigger design team, living the Alfa Romeo brand and history and identity. We're talking about Alessandro Maccolini. Alessandro Maccolini was involved in many projects in Alfa Romeo, and we're going to take you back to when he was 8 until he got his first job in 1994 internship at Alfa Romeo, until he started working on his first car in 1997, all the way to today. More than 30 years of history and involvement in design of the best and most beautiful cars at Alfa Romeo. But before we dive into the history of design of Alfa Romeo, please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button. As promised, we are here with Alessandro. Alessandro, the story of Alessandro is so much inspiring to an extent that he started in 1994 on an internship for 1 year agreement, and he's been in the company ever since. He worked on most of the amazing Alfa Romeo cars. So now we're gonna talk with Alessandro about, let's start with the 4C.
So first of all, again, welcome in our home. Welcome to the people that will look at this video. So this is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place for many reasons. Of course, for the cars that you will find here, but also for the different history connected with the different cars. As many times I say, for me, we don't speak just about cars. We speak about the people, we speak about the culture. As you say, that there is a strong connection with Alfa Romeo, Italy, design, so it's something very, very incredible. It's not just a car, it's not just a component, but there is an incredible world all around the cars that we can see here in our museum.
We start with the 4C?
Yeah, we start with the 4C.
Because I know the 4C is not your first car. Your first car is the Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo 147.
147.
Was the first car, the first project on which I was involved as an exterior designer. It was at the beginning with Mr. Walter de Silva. It was my first boss. It was a great experience. And you will see, I will explain you something also in this car, because also in the 147 there is a strong connection between the car and the past of this.
There's so many cars that you've involved with. The 4C, the 8C Competizione, the 147, the 156, even the rebranding of Alfa Romeo with the launch of the new Giulia, the Stelvio, all of that. I know you were part of all of this. but
for ethnographic reasons.
No. And I know some secret projects you're going to show us as well.
So, no, here we start with the 4C, and if I may, we start with the concept car.
Let's start with the concept
car. So, first of all, when we start with the 4C, the paper was white, as we say, because the project was incredible. Sometimes a lot of people ask me how was possible this type of project, because this is a small supercar in the end, and this is a real Alfa Romeo. Why real Alfa Romeo? Because many times we imagine a supercar with a big engine, very powerful, high performance. This is the example of a supercar made with a simple engine, with normal components, but with a strong level of technology. Project is very, very deep, very strong. So it's totally different. And here in this museum, you can understand the real feeling of Alfa Romeo.
This is your baby project, we can call it, or?
This is one of my favorite projects, also for personal reasons.
I want to know that. I want to know why this is one of your favorite cars.
I will explain you later. So first of all, this is the concept. As I said, we start in end of October 2010 with the white paper. The company decided to jump in this typology of car for Geneva 2011.
Okay.
So imagine this car, this concept was made more or less in 4 months from zero.
Oh, wow.
From zero.
Awesome.
Because maybe you remember, unfortunately, Geneva is out now of our visibility because It's not the classic incredible Expo that was available many years ago after the COVID, as you know. But the idea was from end of October, the first week of March, to arrive in Geneva with this concept car. And the concept car was, okay, we try this typology of car, we look at the results, we look at the feedback from the people, and if it's good, we go in production. And this is what happened. I remember yesterday I discussed with my colleague about this. At that period, Alan Lester was the CEO of Alfa Romeo, and when this car was in the stands, speaking with people all around the car, he declared the weight and the price of the car.
Yeah.
And me and my team, everybody was surprised. I can say this. We don't know the reality of the final project,
Still
no,
the
because
concept.
it's a concept,
Yeah,
it's an
exactly.
idea. So in the end, we arrive in the market exactly with the same price declared and more or less with the same weight declared by RRS.
Oh, wow. Oh wow.
Of course, you can see there are differences. This is a concept, more free solutions, more
Gives you the freedom as a designer to play
absolutely.
around
But there
with
is
it.
also some message in the car. If you want just to tell you, for just an example, starting from the exterior, this mirror, this is not just a mirror. This mirror represents the anniversary for 150 years of United of Italy. So this is a symbol, this is a message. Of course, in all the cars of FCA, this Expo in Geneva, it was the same number in other cars, the 500, other cars. But in this case, remember, as you can see, this is the Italian flag.
Yeah.
But also in the shape of the mirror, we represent the flag. If you look at this shape that starts from the body, like a tissue, is not rigid. And this is, it represents something very strong, very deep in our history. Again, how to represent the culture through a car.
Exactly.
As you can see, of course, we have the main strong element of Alfa Romeo. We have the three logo in the front, so the Scudetto with the two air intakes in the side. The treatment of the car, the typology of volume derive more or less from the 8C Competizione.
Okay.
Why? Because I was involved in the 8C Competizione on the exterior, and there is a clear sequence of cars. We have the 8C Competizione, we have the Mito, we have the Giulietta, and we have the 4C. So we start with the mother of this family, the more luxury version, let me say, the more strong Gran Turismo, very nice, very powerful with the classic lines. We go through cars that everybody can drive, and imagine, for example, from the C Competizione to the Mito.
In my opinion, when you talk about Alfa Romeo, the first thing that comes to my mind is the design. They always have striking designs ever since the beginning all the way till today. Even the latest car,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's the design. So,
The design, but also the mix between design and functionality.
Yes. and drivability. I mean, when you drive an Alfa Romeo, you have a different sensation.
Absolutely.
Different sensation. Any generation, you just love it.
One of our claims is the Bellezza Necessario. Bellezza Necessario represents perfectly the meaning of Alfa Romeo. This means Bellezza, of course, the beauty of the car that is absolutely necessary in every Alfa Romeo, and necessary, so something that you need in terms of typology of, as I said before, the engine, what you need, not
Too much.
not too
Yeah.
big.
You didn't tell us why this is one of your favorite cars.
It was one
For personal reasons, so we don't understand what's Alessandro personal.
personal reasons. Private and not so private reasons. One was because maybe, I don't know if you remember or if you know, but Alfa Romeo was here in Arese. Alfa Romeo was here in Arese, and after more or less around 2010, the plant in Arese was closed for different reasons, so globalization, optimization, etc., etc. So Today in Arese we have just the museum. Okay. For this reason, I was transferred from Milano to Turin in a new typology of studio, in a new typology of centro stile, and everything was very strong and different compared to Arese, because in the end, when you are in a typology of work where you work with colleagues, there is a strong connection with the brand identity, and everybody works for the same brand identity. There is a kind of I don't know, it's a kind of family again.
Yeah.
When you change, you lose this. You lose many colleagues, you lose the connection with the museum, with the cars, and you go in another place. It was a challenge, not only for me, but also for the rest of the people that arrive from Arese. So for this reason, the possibility to give my proposal of this car and to put this on the table and the selection of this was for me an incredible I was really, really satisfied from that. It was very, very important. So it was
it is an amazing project. It is an amazing car, honestly.
And unfortunately, and this is the more strong and more intimate connection with this car, is because exactly few weeks before the presentation of the car, unfortunately, something in my family happened. Very, very. And for this reason, I read that period with something incredible, nice, and something, let me say, incredibly not so nice. So every time I think on this car, I think the two different sides of the...
It's a mix of emotions, if you want to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question about this car in specific. What was your feeling when it broke the Nürburgring record? I mean, this was 2011.
Yes.
Fast forward 2 years, the car is in production, went on Nürburgring and broke the record. You as a designer, because design is not just about aesthetic, it's also about aerodynamics.
You are responsible.
Aerodynamics.
There is a bigger responsibility because you need to care about the quality of the car in general, because there are many aspects. Maybe in a style model, let me say, everything work.
This is a piece of art. You can just go crazy.
You don't. You can put this in a library where you can look as a piece, but not like a car if you want. But this is a real car.
This is a real car.
Especially when you transform a concept static in something that needs to run, needs to go fast. You need to preserve the quality, you need to work for everything, and the aerodynamic is one of the important aspects in the real car. For example, I just to give you an example, these slots in the front, this is not style. This is 100% aerodynamic.
Aerodynamics.
I give you other ideas. The line that splits the body color and the black is not style. This is feasibility, 100% feasibility. Maybe this car was made in the plant of Modena, in Cervenotti. Incredible. Few cars, more or less handmade, no robots, absolutely nothing. But when you start in the assembly line, the first piece that you need to mount in the car is the roof.
Is the roof, yeah.
And the rest of the car arrive later. So for this reason, this line of separation is not because an idea of style. Yes, maybe in the beginning, but after you need to modify to adjust this line because
so you go with
there is a specification. So every single ingredient in the car is for something. Even the line, this aesthetic line on the side is not just for aesthetic. So with this line, we split the side, the bottom from the top. The bottom needs to stay straight, again for the aerodynamic.
Yeah.
And this we need to go inside because we need
the air
to push the air inside.
Correct.
So it's a way to divide the body where we want. There are a lot of stuff.
I'm sure every single element has a story. But I think we need to go back to the beginning. We need to go and see your first car.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So this is the 60.
Yes, this is why this car?
Why this car?
Why this car? Because if you look at the 147, it's a totally different car.
Correct.
Just to rewind to understand exactly the reason of this car as an inspiration for the 140.
This is in 1950.
Yes.
And we're talking about 147, which is
99.
Something like that. So almost 50 years
Yeah.
difference.
So first of all, there are two important ingredients. Look the volume of the car. Look at the connection with the surfaces. This is what happened after the war. After the war, we have a strong evolution in design. If you look at the 145 and the 147, there is a clear idea to return on this type of cars, where you can see again big surfaces. The shuttle line in the hood move inside is not in the board of the piece, like in the 145, for example, on the Alfa 90, where the car is very boxy, very flat. Here there is the fender, here there is the hood, and the shuttle line is here. In the 147 is very round.
Correct.
There is a strong continuity between the side and the hood, and the shuttle line to open the hood, move inside to emphasize this strong continuity as this type of car.
But you were part of the discussion. So what was the reason behind we want as Alfa Romeo to go back?
Because sometimes when you take something from the past in a modern way, you emphasize the modernity. If you are able to keep something from the past, maybe very deep past, because this was not so recent, and you put in a modern shape in a different typology of car, the power of the design is absolutely incredible.
I agree.
And I remember because I work on this car for many months. And that period, I'm sure you imagine the process was absolutely longer compared to today. So for me, the eyes, the front of the car was clear because if you work day by day, it's a part of your nightmare also. And
dreams.
But I remember I was in Milano in the traffic, and in front of me, waiting for the traffic, one car turned on the left, and behind was a 147. When I saw the front of the car, I said, oh, "Wow, me!"
And you worked on it.
And it was an incredible surprise. So this is the wow you need.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the wow was not for the. The car was an hatchback, very nice, very powerful. If you look also the section of the muzzle in the rear, the shoulder, very, very super powerful. I remember the briefing from Walter de Silva perfectly as today. He says, "I want the body of the car like a bodybuilder with a t-shirt."
Ah, nice.
And
muscular,
also with a jacket. You know, there are the line, but if the muscle pulls, the line disappears.
Yeah.
Because they are.
Yeah.
And if you look at the car, of course, today maybe it's not so clear because the generation of cars are totally different today. But if you look at the car,
Talking about
sensation.
30 years back, so it's a completely different era.
Yeah, but the briefing was perfectly respected on the car. Perfectly.
It's a nice car. Should we?
Yeah.
Take a look?
Sorry, not we lose something. Why Villa d'Este?
Yeah, why Bellezza?
Because this is what we call Motivo Villa d'Este. And
Okay.
if you look in the first version of 147, you can see exactly the exact. So how to keep the treatment from this type of generation of cars and how to keep an element of our DNA for the future. This is one of the examples. We go to the Nuvola.
We go.
This concept was made for two reasons. First was we have many ingredients also in this car. The name Nuvola for the color. If you remember, maybe the Nuvola was the color for the launch of the 156. Again, look at this car. Look in the section of the body. No separation, just where you need for the hood, for example. In this case, we have something also. Look at the trilobo.
Yeah.
The image of Alfa Romeo, nothing more.
Exactly.
The trilobo. And also in the 147, exactly this. If you look at the back, there is the back go down like the classic cars, So there is also an intention to return to the classic with this type of concept. And this concept that in reality is not so famous like others, but it was very important in the construction of the philosophy of this family
147,
56, 147, etc., etc. So this was a very, very important for that. The return to something more classic. So we saw the Villa d'Este in the museum. Now we are in another area of the museum where we see the 147, and we recombine what
we saw, what we
yes,
talked about with
absolutely.
the actual car.
So this is we can see other cars, but as I explained, you can see the typology of construction: very square, very flat. Tuck, the fender, the hood, the separation line of the hood is very close to the vertical surface. And
this was the main design language in the late 80s, early
yes,
90s.
Absolutely. And with the 137, we break totally this approach and we jump in something that is incredibly connected with the 60, with the 50, with the 60. And here we have the production car. So exactly as I explained before on the Villa d'Este, you can see the typology of surfaces, very round. The fender, the extension of the fender, very
doesn't end here.
Absolutely, very deep compared to the other cars. You can read perfectly the curve. You can perfectly read the highlights, not broken by something for technical reasons. And if you can see, there is a very, very clean hood and front where we have the trilobo, very strong, very
showing Alfa
precise,
Romeo. Exactly.
the scudetto. Even the lamellas on the scudetto are very, very visible compared to the rest. So there are no mistakes about this ingredient, and the two air intakes on the bottom that define what we call a trilobo. And the Villa d'Este ingredient. So this line arrive from the V on the hood, go in the bottom and surround and support.
Now that you see it in front of you, you can make the connection.
Yeah.
So I have a question about the 147. Since this is your first car that you actually worked.
Yep.
Again, your personal feeling when you saw this, because I know first on paper you're doing the design, you're working with the team, but when you saw it in front of you, what was your feeling? How did you feel?
But now,
I mean, I know this is like 30 years ago, but
yeah, it's true. And sometimes I'm surprised because it's not easier to, for example, if you look at a car in the streets, I was involved in this. Oh wow! And you think in which period you go back, you start to understand what happened in that period, your personal experience, where, etc., etc. So it's something amazing. It's something amazing. And you feel more and more the responsibility, because there are many cars in the market, I'm sure, with incredible ingredients, incredible characteristics. But when you there are also there is also some defects sometimes, no? And you know the defects.
Yeah.
Only you, because your eyes can see, and when you know the defect, your eyes go exactly only on the defect. You don't see the rest. But yes, it's something an experience very nice every time. Especially, I remember I was in Tokyo some years ago for a presentation of Giulia, and I saw in the traffic a 147 GTA. Oh, I said, this is nice. So
it gives you pride, right? You see it, you're proud. This is something I created. It's
or you are a part of the creation.
Team, yeah.
So it's something nice. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And as I said before, look at the section from the back. You can see this very powerful. If you look at this car in the street, it's a steel motor. There's a steel motor. That's incredible.
True.
This car, the 156, are example of how even the Giulietta are cars where you can understand exactly where the design is very strong in in a correct way. Because the design is not strong because you make something incredible, something crazy. No, this is not design. This is you can shock maybe the people for a show, for a week, for a month, maybe for 1 year. But the design is strong when it is alive after many years.
True. Style is if you want to compare it to fashion. I mean, today fashion is something, yesterday was something else.
Yes.
But for cars, you need to make the design eternal.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. We spoke about this off cam. So your job is not easy.
No.
So you have to keep the brand identity and take the heritage with you. And we're not talking about just any brand. We're talking about Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. Yeah.
So we talk about 100 plus years of
Yeah.
cars. You have to look at what the market is going. What are the
Yeah.
trends? You have to look at the fans, what they want. I mean, you worked also on the 33 Strada.
Yes.
So I think this was one of the projects that is so hard to work on because you have to this was a fan,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, a fan-oriented project.
Especially, you know, the 33 Stradale is a masterpiece. So
Exactly. So you have to actually combine all of these and make the car modern and take into consideration all the new legislations that are taking place. I don't know how you did it, Alessandro. honestly.
No, but as we did, because again, there is a team behind. Today, especially on the 33 Stradale, my role was different. I was responsible for the management in total of the project in terms of from A to Z, the development of the style connected with the feasibility, with the production, etc., etc. I was not the designer of the exterior, just to be clear. But of course, I give my experience.
So I gave that 33 Stradale as an example because it's more about the fans. But as someone who works on the exterior design in specific, to combine all of these elements and come up with a car that management will sign off and sells and stay on the streets, that's a challenge. Yeah. That's a challenge.
It's not easy. And you know, Alfa Romeo is like the football, no? Everybody want to say how you need to play the football. So Alfa Romeo, if you make something wrong, you are died.
True.
Alfisti especially.
Alfisti is yeah, exactly.
Okay, now just a touch on the 8C competizione, because it was, from my point of view, the real beginning of the 4C.
Okay.
Why? Because if you look at the car, this is a strange model. Is a model that we made many years ago, of course, in centro stile to show the transition from the racing model. So we melt the racing model and we paint, so you can understand exactly what happened also in centro stile when you need to develop a typology of model like that. Why the 8C competizione? Because in the 8C competizione, again, we have a clear, clean, perfectly visible trilobe in the front. The light mill that is supported by the muscle of the car. The sensuality of the car, of the body. Of course, here is different because we have a longitudinal engine in the front. Yeah. In the 4C, we have a transversal engine in the back.
Correct.
So different proportion, but the typology of style, the appearance, the connection are exactly the same.
So which one is not the one that you worked on? I'm talking, so we can wrap up the whole interview. If you want to select one car, this is very challenging, I know, because we're talking about Alfa Romeo. One car throughout the whole Alfa Romeo history that you think is the most beautiful.
Wow, this is a terrible question.
I know, because I mean, you are part of the design history of Alfa Romeo. So what, I don't want to say the most beautiful, let's say the most that you would be inspired from.
I know it's not easy because there are many typology of cars.
But for you?
No, I know, but it's not just one. This is the problem. Many. No,
should we start counting?
No, if I maybe one of the cars that can express sportiness, can express evolution, can express style with a certain level of also flavor, elegance in the same time. Maybe TZ. Zagato.
Okay, Zagato. Nice choice.
After this, there are other 20 cars that
If we're gonna start cutting, we will
give you the list.
I don't.
give you the list.
Alessandro, thank you so much. Grazie
You're
mille. It was very insightful for me on a personal level, just getting to understand the history and how the design is made.
We can continue for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was a few days ago with Lorenzo in the archive. It was open in a box. There are all my sketches of
Oh, wow.
30 years ago, 25 years ago.
Oh,
So,
wow. Oh.
I'm in the museum. I'm already in the museum.
You're already in the museum, but you helped produce amazing cars, so thank you for that again.
Yeah, no, it's a challenge to stay inside, to help also the others to continue, because of course.
And you witnessed different era as well, which is also, I think it's enriching when it comes to the design, especially what is coming in the future. So your tie to Alfa Romeo didn't start in 1994. It started before that.
I was the driver of Giulia when I was 8 years older.
Oh, 8.
I was in the side. My father driving the Giulia, the historical Giulia. I was in the side with a I don't remember. It was a steering wheel from another car.
Okay.
In this moment, born my passion for Alfa Romeo.
Unfortunately, our journey in history has to end at a given moment in time. Otherwise, we'll be talking about every single car there is in this amazing museum that Alessandro and his team were part of the design at a given moment in time. What I wanted to say is the designer job is not as easy as you think it is, because it has to take into consideration the brand identity and heritage, especially we're talking about Alfa Romeo. It has to take into consideration the market trend today. It has to take into consideration what the fan wants, what is feasible, what the production is, how the market is today, and the future, because the design of a car has to be eternal. So imagine how much effort is being done to design such cars that we see here in Alfa Romeo Alesi. In my opinion, a must-visit museum, and I've done it the best way possible with Alessandro.